What's happening all? It is the 11th of October. As of yesterday, officially 50 years on this rock. And one thing I'm noticing, the older you get, things don't change a whole hell of a lot as far as what you're thinking, what's going on here until you change yourself. The other thing I have noticed is that things do go faster. I remember my parents talking about, my grandparents talking about that, and it's amazing how that is the case. But the only way I've found to slow it down is to pack more into your day. So I have this thought process, a little bit different spin on time relativity. As a kid, it seemed like time was going by real slow because you're learning new things, and so there's less experience for you to go off of for what the value of the day is. Plus, you had fewer days to go off of. The more days you live, the more you have packed in that memory. The more a single day seems insignificant. The longer you've been around, the less significant one single day is. The less time you or less experience you have, the longer each day is in your perception because you have fewer to compare it to. The other thing is, have you ever noticed, have you done like, bounced to three different places in a week and did a whole bunch of different things in a week, things you normally don't do, therefore it seems like that week was a month long? My belief here is the more experiences you're packing into a day, those new experiences are perceived differently by your mind because your mind's used to certain things happening a day. A day is measured by a certain amount of activity in that window. And then you add more activity into it, it feels like you've been gone a long time. Like this last week feels like it's been, 2, 3 weeks because of everything that I was able to pack into it. So just my thought, if you want to extend out your life, put more into it, experience more. We're only going to take two things with us anyway: relationships and experience. Get more experience, build more relationships. You'll take that stuff with you, and you can extend your life out, and you're going to have a better life. That's just my thought. Excuse this thing is loud, and usually you would think I don't get that much. I usually don't have the ringer on. So, speaking of experiences, what people are thinking with respect to the interest rates right now. Thinking the Fed just dropped the rate and we're experiencing rates going up. That doesn't make any sense. There's this real popular, there's a post on Reddit, Instagram, whatever, that kind of explains how people were getting excited about the rate drop and what really ended up happening here. So figured I'd play this just for a little bit of entertainment. Thought maybe you guys enjoy this. So things that happened when the Fed dropped the rates. Everybody got excited. Then nothing. So, not something anybody really wanted to have happen, but it's what did happen. What we have to deal with here is what really, really happened to us, and we're seeing with the interest rate drop. We saw jobs are really not going the direction they thought. 'Cause jobs is what was driving the interest rate job. Then, because now we actually have, even the initial claims came out this last week. Claims went up, continuing claims, they actually went up as well. We had CPI go up, so it's still inflationary. To have the interest rates drop, I don't know that it would be the cause of inflation, but it's definitely inflationary. And because of that, there is members of the Fed Open Market Committee saying, we're probably going to pause. We're not going to push for that next rate drop. It was Raphael Bostic told the Wall Street Journal, he goes, I'm totally comfortable with skipping a meeting if the data suggests that it's appropriate. Meaning, we're skipping even having a meeting, much less dropping the interest rates if it's appropriate for us to do that. Well, it's looking like it's pretty appropriate at this point. So let's take a look at what the charts are showing us. As we've always talked about, got this barrier right here at the top that was being created by the day that they announced quantitative easing. The end of trading with the day that they announced quantitative easing, that was our ceiling, and we end up finding another ceiling here. But look at this. Fed dropped the rate, and here's where we're now below that spot. We hung in that spot a little while, but man, this is a pretty significant barrier. We have two barriers there that will keep it from going lower as far as rates concerned. We're back into this lower position that I've been pointing out since 2020, early 2023, I believe, is when we started talking about this barrier right here. And it seems to be pretty formidable. So this is the area we're going to be playing in. Now we're playing below this. We're back into this. Are we going to repeat these channels? I don't know. Is it possible? Sure, it's possible. Look, we could write another one right back down. These ran in parallel. That's why I have them back up here. We may have another one runs in parallel. If that's the case, we see interest rates go back up a bit. So don't be surprised if rates go up. And what we talked about as far as rates go up, it doesn't matter if they go up. You have to work the deal. You have to see whether or not that specific transaction, that specific property has all the elements you need. You want to wonder what those elements are? Reach out to me. I'll give you at least what I look for so you can figure out whether or not this might be the best transaction for you. But it's not, the rates don't drive it. If the rates drive it, you're not a real estate investor. If that's what you're looking for, the rates to go down to play in the real estate investment world, you don't want to invest in something else. That's just my thought. Talk to you soon.